All right, hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're all doing well. Today we are doing a studio tour, and I'm going to take you through everything in my studio. That includes instruments, different objects, you name it, and stay to the very end to see what I'm most proud of. All right, let's check it out. This is the door to my studio. I told you we'd be looking at everything. And I have this really cool music poster here. You could pause the video to read what it says. But this inspires me every time I walk into the studio. And here is my studio. I painted it this really nice warm tan color, which gives this kind of a Mediterranean feel, in my view anyways. So we'll give you a quick 360 here of the studio, and then I will take you through all of the various objects and instruments. And yeah, so let's start over here with my keyboard. This is my main keyboard. It's the Korg SV1. It's the SV1 stage keyboard, vintage stage. And this is the 63 key version in the red color, which I really love. I love this keyboard just because everything is on board. It has old-fashioned dials and buttons, and even the on-off switch is this really cool toggle switch here. And it has beautiful basic sounds. You know, it's not a full-on synthesizer, but it has beautiful sampled sounds, multi-sampled, and the keys are weighted. So really nice weighted keys. And yeah, so I've been playing. I think I got this in 2010, so it's like 15, 16 years old already, and it's going strong. I really like it. All right, what do we have here besides this rag? Get rid of that. This is one of my oldest pieces of equipment. This is from the late 80s. I think 1989 when I was in college. This is a Yorkville stage amp, 100-watt stage amp. This was for a keyboard amp. Back then I had the Korg M1 workstation, which was a really cool keyboard. I don't have that anymore, but I still have the amp that I use for it. Yorkville is a Canadian company, and the amp still works, and it's works really nicely. It also has a really cool old-fashioned spring reverb in it, so it's very nice. Let's see, over here above my keyboard I have, this is a relatively new addition to the studio. It's the Boss RC505 Mark II loop station. It's really, really cool. Unfortunately, I haven't mastered it yet because I've been working on jumping ahead here. I've been working on the MPC Key 37 for the last year and a half, dedicating all my time to that guy. And so this year I'm going to try to use the this loop station more, you know, incorporate the keys and, you know, drum kits from the MPC and do loops. But, you know, to tell you the truth, the MPC, now with the clip matrix, I can do all my looping there. But, you know, I'll figure out a cool way. This looper is mostly for, I think, singer-songwriters, because, especially vocalists, because it has these large buttons that you could tap while you're singing live. And so I'm going to experiment with that a little more. Right next to this guy, I have this really old, really old. This again is from also the late 80s. It's a Digitech Vocalist Live 2. And I used this for just some live vocals while I was in a band, and I wanted to have some reverb, compression, etc. And even has a harmonizer on it. So I still use this, actually. I use it for a mic preamp when I'm recording vocals into the MPC. I go in, my mic goes through this unit first, as a preamp. It has phantom power. I can use some compression as well before I send the signal to the MPC line input. Okay. Okay, now let's take a look at my headphone collection here, from my oldest to the newest, and they're all functional. My very first pair is this, I don't know if you could see it, but it's this is a Sennheiser, yeah, this way. This is a Sennheiser headphone. There we go, you can see it. And this was my very first headphone that I got when I had my Korg M1 workstation. They still work, but you know, they're really, really dull and flat. They have a realistic sound. It's great for, you know, listening to stuff on a stereo, but not so good for our newer, you know, digital music. So my next pair of headphones were, you know, the standard MDR 7506. So this is the Sony Professional. I think people still use them. Good for monitoring. Although I find that the high frequency response is a little too sharp. All right, then I have my latest is the Audio Technica. It's the M50. So the Audio Technica M50. Okay. And then this pair of headphones here is from Razer, and this is just a gaming headphone, but I'm using that. I use this when I make my videos because it has a built-in microphone, and so I don't need like a microphone kind of hanging over my head or leaning into it. I'm free to move around. I can, you know, change locations in my studio. I'm not a prisoner to wherever the microphone stand is. So that's really great. The sound quality is very clear. It's very nice. And I use that through my Roland Go Mixer Pro, which is right over here. And I use this primarily to get the audio output from my MPC. It goes into the Go Mixer Pro, and then out of the Go Mixer Pro, it goes directly into my iPhone or my iPad. So I don't need to use the any PC software to kind of sync audio and video and all that stuff. So I just use my my iPhone and my iPad and this app that I'm recording on right now, which is called Detail, which links the two videos with the audio automatically on their website in the cloud. And so the Go Mixer Pro allows me to capture the audio from the MPC. And it records directly into the video, into the audio of the video that I'm filming. So I've done a review on that in one of my previous videos, so you can find that on my playlist. All right, well, now that we've talked about it enough, next on the list is my MPC Key 37, which I adore. I really adore it. I think it's the best MPC out there. I'm going to get a lot of comments about that one. I'm a keyboard player. I'm a singer-songwriter. And so I love having the pads, but I love having the keyboards along with the pads, because then I can, you know, automatically record or sample any chord or melody line that I want, you know, right there. So, and there's a lot of other great advantages to having the keyboard. And the MPC is just such a great instrument. I love the sound quality of all of the digital to audio and audio to digital converters and processors. It's really, really good. I'm using this as a standalone. It's kind of replacing my DAW. I challenge myself to record and to produce songs this year and last year solely on the MPC Key 37, fully produced, everything, vocals, mixing, mastering, and those songs are out on Spotify now. If I remember, I will put the link to those songs on this video somewhere up here. And speaking of DAW, let's move over to see which DAW that I do use. And I use the Cakewalk Sonar, also by Roland. Cakewalk was really big back in the day. It isn't so much now, but now it's Cakewalk by BandLab, and it's totally free. And it's pretty much the identical software as Sonar. And this has everything that Pro Tools or Logic, those DAWs have. It's just amazing. One day I'll have to make a video of everything that the software does, but basically it's it's just your typical DAW. It has all the functionality, but I also love the graphical user interface. It's just so cool with all the knobs and the meters, and I can expand these EQ graphs if I want. I have all the tracks laid out. It's just fantastic. It's a great, great DAW. And then I have here my audio interface, which is a Focusrite Scarlett. This has 4 inputs here in the front, and I can't remember if there's inputs in the back now. Yeah, I have a couple of line-ins here in the back, and then 2 main outs. And this is pretty versatile, and it's great. And it has 2 headphone monitors here, which is great. It has phantom power, and it also has an app on the computer, so you can make finer adjustments with that. But it's really good. I mean, this is kind of an industry standard, I think, at least for a home studio. And then I have my Yamaha monitors. What are these? So it's the it's the Yamaha HS5 monitors, and they're pretty good monitors. I like them. They're good for this size of a room, and it has some settings in the back there that allows you to adjust some of the frequency and the dBs, to kind of compensate for room size and the dullness of the room. So pretty good monitors. What else do I have here? Let's see. What you see on the walls. So these are not like professional acoustic treatments here that you see, but these are just to diffuse sound. So I call them audio diffusers, and all they are is foam. It's foam from packaging from the companies I used to work at. When you receive the product, this foam would be in the packaging, and they'd be thrown out in the garbage. So I collect these over time, and I put them all over my walls, and they really diffuse the sound so that it doesn't echo on the bare walls. Okay, so that's what I use them for. And it's really, if I were to clap in here, you'd see that there's no echo at all. It's really really nice sound. Over here I have these small computer monitors, which I will also listen to my final mixes on there. Just so I listen to the mix on a good quality monitors. I'll listen to them on these crappy computer monitors, and I'll also listen to them on Apple earbuds, and make sure that the mix sounds good and all of those things. So that's I think that's a you know, an accepted process in home studio recording to listen to your final mix on various monitors. What do we have in the corner here? This is my Roland Axe synth. So I had this, also is probably I would say also 15 or 16 years old. I had this when I was in a band, so that I can get away from, you know, sitting at the keyboard and play live up in front on the stage. You know, really good for doing little solos and that kind of thing. Not so good for more complicated chords, but you know, it's pretty cool. Handheld keyboard. It's actually considered to be a synthesizer, and you can change things on. You can actually minimally change things on the keyboard itself. You have to go onto the computer application to make changes. Then over here, I have this Yamaha mixing board PA system with a 300 watt per channel sound system. So I have one speaker here and another speaker in this corner over here. And again, this was for back when I was in a band, but you know, I kept them, and I'll also listen to a mix on those guys and put it really loud to see how my mixing sounds. I also use those when I am practicing with my keyboard, and I mic my voice just to hear how it sounds on an amplified system. So when I'm practicing to do like an open mic night or something, I'll use that mixer. And what is it? It's a 8-channel mixer. It has onboard effects, and it has it also has equalizer on it. Okay, right here in front of it is my congas, which I really like. I love playing congas. I like the feel of it. I like the sound of it. And you know, that's where the original beat making comes from, right? From the congas. I actually have a video on my playlist. You could try to find it where I'm, you know, playing a beat, a conga beat. And I encourage everybody to kind of play beats acoustically when you can, just to get the feel of rhythm. You know, instead of finger drumming, let it flow from your fingers to your hands, right? And try it out. It's so much fun. Even get something like this. This is a cajon. You actually like sit on these guys. Let me move these over here. You know, you sit on these, and I'm filming upside down, and then you tap with your fingers and your hands. All right, like that. And of course, it doesn't sound good now, but you know, you can mic it or whatever. And this is a Sklagwork cajon. It's really nice quality. I have a LP tambourine and the LP shaker. It's pretty cool. And here is my bass. So I'm not a guitar player, but I've always loved bass. I actually compose a lot of my songs starting with a bass line, and I've always wanted to kind of just play live bass. So I've taught myself how to play bass, just very basic stuff. By no means am I a bass player, but I actually do play live bass in several of my songs that are currently on Spotify. You can go check them out. This is an Ibanez SD500, and this is a mahogany body, and I can't remember now what the neck is. It's some kind of a I believe it's this wood called jabota, and so it's jabota and maple, I believe. And it's very lightweight and super slim neck, so easy for me, for a beginner, to wrap my fingers around that. All right, so let's see, what else have we got here? This is my microphone that I use for my vocal recordings. It is a GT55. GT stands for Groove Tube. This is the first and only condenser microphone, or a large, a large aperture condenser microphone that I have. This also is pretty old, and I think maybe 15 or 20 years old, and I love it. It's great. It has a really warm nature to it. Of course, I have to, run it through a preamp and then run it through a compressor, but when all that is done, it sounds great. This is my little shield here for cutting off any kind of room reverberations, so my voice doesn't echo. It just gets absorbed into this pad when I sing. And I also have my little popping thing here. I can't remember what the name of this is, but basically you sing in front of this, microphone is behind. So this takes away all, your, what do you call it? Plosive consonants. So the buzz and the puzz, anything that's harsh, this little nylon mesh will cut that plosive consonant right out. So it's great. All right, let's see what else I got here. I have my little harmonica collection. So I have the standard couple of blues harmonicas. I also have chromatic harmonica, which allows you to play every note of the scale by toggling back and forth with the switch here. Yeah. And so I'm kind of teaching myself how to use that. This is something that every studio should have. It's a voltage meter to check out your batteries, to see which batteries are working and which ones are dead. So I recommend having that. This is my Sans amp for my bass. So it's a bass driver. So I don't have a bass amp, but I don't need one because a good friend of mine told me about this Sans amp. This is just amazing. It's made by Tech 21, New York City, and it transforms the sound. It takes the already great sound from my Ibanez and makes it sound like it's coming out of a super expensive bass amp. It's really amazing. I love it. Highly recommend this if you're a bass player. This is a wireless transmitter that I used that I got for my Roland Axe synth over here for when I was playing on stage, so I could walk around the stage. And then I have this Shure microphone, vocal microphone, that I like to use when I'm performing live on stage with my keyboard. Again, I'm not comfortable leaning into a microphone that's kind of hanging beside me because I need to look at the keys when I'm playing. I'm a visual keyboard player and I play by ear, so I need to look at the keys. And this headphone gives me the freedom. Sorry, not a headphone. It's a condenser microphone headset that you put on, and it's wireless. So that gives me the freedom to play and sing and freely move my head around. Down here, I have it's a Boss ME70 guitar pedal set, and I don't play guitar, but I got this once again for my Roland Axe keyboard over there. And I found that when I put it through this guitar effects processor, I can make a lot of the sounds simulate an electric guitar, or at least the distortion of an electric guitar. So that's why I have that, but I haven't used it in a while. So over here you might have seen I have the complete rhyming dictionary which a lot of songwriters have. That's crazy. So many rhyming words in there, but this has almost become obsolete because obviously we now have the internet with sites like the Rhyme Zone and so many other rhyming sites, and now with ChatGPT you can find any rhyming you want. What else do we have here? I am a hat fanatic. I have a couple of hats here in my studio. This is my pork pie hat that I got in Ireland, and this is what I call my studio hat, and I got this online. I forget which company, but I like putting this on because it puts me kind of in a cool vibe when I'm, jamming on on my keyboards or recording in my studio, and it's just that you do whatever you want or whatever you can to get into the right vibe of things, right? So I love I like hats, and so that's my studio hat right there. Got some basic cables. This is my Jamiroquai Heels of Steel Tour 2025 VIP Pass. Jamiroquai is my favorite band, and this is the first time I saw them. It was last year at the O2 Arena in London. Safe to say it was the best show that I've seen in my life. Jamiroquai, you guys are the best. JK, you're the best. Love you guys. And then over here, I have started collecting albums, which I'm going to sample from. These are actually, I dug them out from my parents' basement where we had our old record collection when we were kids. And so I got stuff like The Police, Supertramp, Sting. What else we got here? Yes, wow, some old stuff, some pretty cool stuff. So I don't have a turntable yet. I'm going to be getting a turntable soon, and I'm going to try, sampling onto my MPC with a turntable like it should be done, right? All right. Then I have my trusty lightweight tripod that I use for recording my videos when I'm doing tutorials. Over here on my desk, I have this is my grandfather's guitar, or his most recent guitar, and my dad let me have this as an addition to my studio. And once again, I don't play guitar, but I think it's a nice touch or homage to my grandfather. And stick around to the end. I'm going to show you something else that I'm really proud of that has to do with my grandfather. I have a whiteboard over here. If you don't have one, I highly recommend you get a whiteboard for your studio, because this is where commitment begins, right? When you're procrastinating, write shit down. Write stuff down. And when you write it down, you're making a commitment to yourself. And you write down step by step what you're doing. And I find that really helps me a lot. So, if Monday you're going to do a bass line, write it down. Tuesday vocals, Wednesday da-da-da. So that keeps you honest, keeps you on track, right? I got some little candle fragrances here, again, to set a good vibe. This is my writing desk. I have a couple of notepads and a drawer full of pens and crap. Here's a metallic poster of Spidey. I don't know if a lot of you out there are Marvel fans and comic book fans, but Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, and was collecting Spider-Man comics since when I was a kid. And yeah, just, I think I got this in New York City. It's a really cool, aluminum or metal poster with a classic Spider-Man pose there. I think that's from one of the older covers. And I think it's just a cool touch to the studio. This is a African mask. I think it's a good luck mask or health that my daughter brought from West Africa when she was she went there for work. She's in public health, and she brought that back. So that's a pretty cool addition to the studio. And this was, I forgot to talk about this. This is a piece of art that one of my daughters made when they were very young, and it's a symmetrical piece design. And it's really cool. Thought I'd hang that up. What else we got here? I think we went over everything. Oh, this is pretty cool here. This is, again, a sound diffuser, but I inlaid 2 cassette tapes of my very first bands. So this is my college band that's called Suede, or we were called Suede. That's me. We made this cassette insert and graphic on a Macintosh computer, the very first Macs. The one, I don't know if you guys remember them. They had those little small square screens on it, and I forget what it was called, but basically it was the first Macintosh computers. So that was pretty cool. And then this is the cassette from my other band, which was called Red Lemon, as you can see from the photo. And we also did this little cover ourselves, so that was fun. And before we get to the final item, let me see if I missed anything. Oh yeah, I have a complete keyboard controller here, so complete. And so I have a lot of complete sounds and audio packs like Contact and so forth that I'll use. I don't know if you could see it here. I have the one of the piano samples from Contact. So complete sounds from Native Instruments. Native Instruments, that's the word I was looking for. They're just amazing. And now, as a lot of you know, MPC has teamed up with Native Instruments to make expansions and plugins, for the MPC. Oh, sorry, one more thing. In case you're wondering what this thing is, this holds my iPad. It's a really cool spring-loaded crane-like iPad holder so that I could film from the screen of the MPC from above. So a bird's eye view of the MPC, as you've seen in many of my YouTube tutorials. All right, and now this is what I wanted to show you guys here. This is really very cool. I'm really proud to have this in my studio. This is my motivation and my inspiration. This is a photo of my grandfather's orchestra, a mandolin orchestra from Greece. This is in Athens, Greece. And he is not playing the mandolin, though. He's playing the guitar. He's this guy here in the corner, the tall gentleman there holding the guitar. That's my grandfather. And, they would play and they would sing. And, of course, I never heard them. This is back in the 1930s or 40s, I believe. And but I did hear him play and sing when I was a little kid, and he had already emigrated to Canada. And so my father found this photo, and we made a copy, and I framed it. And it's just cool to have his musical legacy continue in my studio, right? So from this mandolin orchestra and guitar playing grandfather to the digital age of MPC and Korg and Roland, it's just so cool. And so I'm really happy and proud to be continuing the musical journey that my relatives and ancestors started. And so thank you for coming along on this studio tour. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And stay tuned for the next tutorial, which I'm going to be filming right after this. All right. Peace, everybody. Take care.